Hey everyone, thank you for joining us for our weekly thought of Dhamma. This week we'll be going over verses 5 and 6, so let's get into them. Hatred is never appeased by hatred in this world. By non-hatred alone is hatred appeased. This is a law eternal. There are those who do not realize that one day we all must die. But those who do realize this settle their quarrels. So, reading these verses, what comes to mind for me is, how do we spend our time? Where do we put our energy into? For many people find that fighting and quarreling, holding grudges, is a good way to spend their time. It gives them a sense of value, a sense of importance, but it doesn't give them any form of peace of mind. It just adds more and more troubles to their lives. You can look at history and see that we tend to do the same thing over and over again, thinking that it's going to have a different outcome, that fighting this group of people, fighting this country, fighting this religion, fighting with this religion, will make a world a better place. And maybe even some people don't even believe it will make the world a better place, but they believe that this is the only way that we can live, that this is part of our nature, that warring, fighting, hating is human nature. And it is. But we also have the capability of being gentle, being kind, making peace. We do that all the time as well. So why do we have to give our anger and our hatred so much of our time, so much of our energy? This life is very short, just as in verse 6 says, we all gotta die. We're all going to die someday. We don't know when that will be necessarily. It can be 20 years from now, 30 years, 100 years. But the truth is that we're all going to die one day. So what kind of mind do we want to have at that time? A mind filled with hatred, a mind filled with anger, or a mind that is filled with peace and contentment, that can reflect back on that I developed myself, that I let go of my anger, that I let go of my hatred, that I made peace with somebody who I thought I could never make peace with. So when our time comes that we leave this world, that we are laying on our deathbed, we have so much that we can think about, that we have no regrets, that we don't have any quarrels, that we have lots of friends, or people that we once had as enemies are now our friends. That we were able to let go of something that's very hard to let go of. And by letting go of that hatred, that anger, it opens up the floodgate of endless possibilities, because it is so strong. Anger and hatred is so strong, it is so powerful. But the Buddha teaches us that we are able to let go of that. He says that in verse number 6, that it is something that we can let go of. By contemplating the shortness of our lives, it gives us a sense of urgency to let go of it. It's a tool that we can use to let go of hatred, by thinking of how short life is. So for this week, let's think about that. Let's contemplate that, of what our life could be like if we can let go of our hatred. How does that make us feel? It gives us a sense of openness, a sense of possibility. So for this week, let's contemplate on these two verses and seeing how we can put them in our lives and see what we can make of them. So thank you, everybody. I wish you all well, and may you have a wonderful week.